UN votes resoundingly to reject Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as capital. The United Nations General Assembly has delivered a stinging rebuke to Donald Trump, voting by a huge majority to reject his unilateral recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. The vote came after a redoubling of threats by Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, who said that Washington would remember which countries disrespected America by voting against it. Despite the warning, 128 members voted on Thursday in favor of the resolution supporting the long-standing international consensus that the status of Jerusalem, which is claimed as a capital by both Israel and the Palestinians, can only be settled as an agreed final issue in a peace deal. Countries which voted for the resolution included major recipients of U.S. aid such as Egypt, Afghanistan and Iraq. Although largely symbolic, the vote in emergency session of the world body had been the focus of days of furious diplomacy by both the Trump administration and Israel, including Trump's threat to cut U.S. funding to countries that did not back the U.S. recognition. But only 9 states including the United States and Israel voted against the resolution. The other countries which supported Washington were Togo, Micronesia, Nauru, Palau, Marshall Islands, Guatemala and Honduras. 22 of the 28 EU countries voted for the resolution, including the UK and France. Germany, which in the past has abstained on measures relating to Israel, also voted in favor. 35 countries abstained, including 5 EU states, and other US allies including Australia, Canada, Colombia and Mexico. Ambassadors from several abstaining countries, including Mexico, used their time on the podium to criticize Trump's unilateral move. Another 21 delegations were absent from the vote, suggesting that Trump's warning over funding cuts and Israel's lobbying may have had some effect. While support for the resolution was somewhat less than Palestinian officials had hoped, the meager tally of just 9 votes in support of the U.S. and Israeli position was a serious diplomatic blow for Trump. Immediately after the vote, the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, described the result as a victory for Palestine. The Palestinians' UN envoy, Riyad Mansour, described the result as a massive setback for the U.S. They made it about them, Mansour told AFP. They did not make it about Jerusalem, so when you make it about them and to only be able to get 9 votes to say no to it, I think it was a complete failure for their campaign. Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, rejected the UN vote out of hand. Israel thanks President Trump for his unequivocal position in favor of Jerusalem and thanks the countries that voted together with Israel, together with the truth, said a statement from Netanyahu's office. Speaking to the assembly before the vote, Haley, who earlier in the week told members that the U.S. would be taking names, returned to the offensive. I must also say today, when we make generous contributions to the UN, we also have expectation that we will be respected, she said. What's more, we are being asked to pay for the dubious privileges of being disrespected. Haley added, if our investment fails, we have an obligation to spend our investment in other ways. The United States will remember this day.